From the frozen lands of Scandinavia came a people who would forever change the course of European history. They were feared across the seas, misunderstood by many, and remembered as some of the most formidable warriors and daring explorers of the medieval world. They were the Vikings. Between the 8th and 11th centuries, these Norse seafarers left their rugged homelands in search of wealth, land, honor, and lasting glory. But who were they really beneath the legends? The Vikings were not just brutal raiders from the north. They were farmers, traders, craftsmen, and master shipbuilders from the lands we now call Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. Most Vikings lived in small villages surrounded by open farmland and forests. They raised animals, grew crops like barley and rye, and built sturdy wooden longhouses where entire families lived together under one roof. Their society was organized into 3 main classes: jarls, the noble elite; carls, free farmers and skilled craftsmen; thralls, enslaved people who worked in households and fields. Women in Viking society held more rights than many other medieval cultures of the time. The true power of the Vikings was not only their weapons, it was their ships. Their longships were fast, flexible, and brilliantly designed for both deep oceans and shallow rivers. With these ships, they crossed the dangerous waters of the North Atlantic and reached distant lands such as England and beyond. The shallow draft allowed them to sail up rivers and land directly on beaches, making surprise attacks swift and devastating. Without their advanced shipbuilding knowledge and navigational skill, the Viking Age would never have existed. The Viking Age is often said to have begun in the year 793. That was when Viking warriors attacked the monastery of Lindisfarne in England. The assault shocked Christian Europe. Monasteries were wealthy and poorly defended, making them easy targets. Gold, silver, and valuable manuscripts were seized and carried away. But Vikings did not only raid, they settled. They established thriving communities in Ireland, France, and parts of Russia. In France, a Viking leader named Rollo founded what later became Normandy. Some Vikings traveled even farther west, reaching Greenland and even North America centuries before Columbus. They were not only raiders, they were explorers, settlers, and builders of new worlds. The Vikings followed a belief system we now call Norse mythology. They worshipped powerful gods such as Odin, the All-Father and Seeker of Wisdom, and Thor, the god of thunder and protector of humanity. They believed that brave warriors who died in battle would go to Valhalla, a majestic hall where they would prepare for the final battle known as Ragnarok. This belief gave them courage in combat and shaped their understanding of honor and fate. Their stories were passed down through oral tradition and later preserved in written sagas that still survive today. Daily Viking life centered around farming, fishing, crafting, and long-distance trade. They were skilled blacksmiths who forged strong weapons, elegant jewelry, and detailed carvings from wood and stone. They used a writing system known as runes, carefully carved into stone monuments and wooden objects. Vikings also held a legal assembly called the Thing, where free men gathered to settle disputes and make important decisions for their communities. Trade routes stretched from the Middle East to Europe, connecting distant cultures. They traded furs, amber, iron, and even silk. This reveals how deeply connected they were to the wider world. By the 11th century, the Viking world began to change. Christianity gradually spread throughout Scandinavia. European kingdoms grew stronger and more organized. In the year 1066, the Viking king Harald Hardrada was defeated at the Battle of Stamford Bridge. This event is often considered the end of the Viking Age. But their legacy did not disappear. The Vikings reshaped trade, warfare, exploration, and even elements of modern culture. They were more than raiders. They were sailors, storytellers, explorers, and legends of the North. And their saga still echoes across history.